At Rubber Band, we empower each other through positivity, kindness, and practical advice. Join a community of thousands of peers who understand the unique challenges you face. Rubber Band. Company agnostic, low ego, high empathy, always supportive.
PageUp, a powerful talent attraction and management system, creating positive experiences for candidates, hiring managers, and HR teams at every step of the hiring journey. From intelligent career sites to marketing automation and talent pipelining, PageUp will enable you and your team to put your best foot forward to attract and convert world-class talent. PageUp's powerful ATS will help you improve your recruiting efficiency, and their onboarding solution sets your team up for success from day one. PageUp, more than just an ATS. Head to pageuppeople.com to see how it all comes together.
Thank you so much to our sponsors for Real Recruiters, PageUp and Clinch. It's been just an amazing series, and today's episode is just me. It's Real Recruiters on the tools with me, the finale. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land that I live and work on, the Wadda Warring and Dja Dja Warring people. I recognise their continuing connection to the land and waterways. I pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging, and I would like to extend this to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. It's a very bizarre situation, me talking without having a guest, but I really wanted to finish the Real Recruiter series just as a thank you to everyone who has been involved. Everyone who's been listening, and I know there are a lot of you out there. I really appreciate it. This was a funny experiment for me. This has been running for 6 months, and I was a few months into my new job with REA Group as head of talent attraction, which I've been running basically looking after a very high-performing, wonderful team while Jill Sorrigan is on parental leave. And I came up with this concept because I was feeling a little bit overwhelmed about starting a new leadership role in talent acquisition after consulting and doing freelance work for around 18 months. And I wanted to make sure that I knew what was going on, and I had my finger on the pulse, and I knew what was going on the tools for everyone else out there. And I really wanted to catch up with as many leaders as humanly possible, just to ease back into it, I suppose. And that's continued over the last 6 months with the wonderful support of PageUp, who heard the concept and thought it was a really great idea, and were also curious of what was going on the tools. So really, I hand on heart, just thank you, everyone. It's really helped me re-find my mojo and be passionate about leading talent acquisition functions again and getting back to what I love. There have been 25 guests in this series, and that is a lot of people to meet with. And I was meeting with one every single week. So it's been quite an epic journey. And I really want to celebrate and shout out to all the people that volunteered their time and volunteered an hour out of their week to catch up with me and help me learn and help me grow. And of course, help the audience learn and grow. I think it's been just so wonderful for our industry and our Australian, our APAC industry in terms of the generosity and thought leadership within our leadership communities in talent acquisition, their willingness to share. I remember back in the day when I took my first leadership role in talent acquisition, everything was very siloed in Australia. We would have, the ATC where we'd catch up, but you didn't want to give away too many of your secrets. But now it just seems that everyone wants to grow together and wants to learn from each other. And we just have such a beautiful community here in Australia. So hats off to all 25 of you. I am going to read out your names, so listeners, I'll do them in batches of 5, but also hats off to everyone else who I didn't get an opportunity to catch up with in this series. I would still love to continue these conversations. It would just be in a different format, I suppose. But look, firstly, we kicked off the series with Tammany Pyle from AEMO, so working in energy, in the energy space. We had Ben Roberts from David Jones, Danny Alberto from Tallies, Alex Thompson from Australia Post, and the lovely Tanya Dowling from RMIT. 5 incredibly generous individuals, and that was early on into my new role, only a few months in when I caught up with all of you. I just wanted to send a huge thank you to all of you. I learned something unique and different, and all of you come from very complex organizations. So I got my nerd on with you 5 quite a lot, so thank you. We then moved into, we had Jamie Holder from Link Group, we had Alex Hunter from Angle Auto, Hannah Supke from Catapult, Simon Hett from Mantle Group, and Will Milnes-James from Findex. And all 5 I've known for quite a long time, and it was quite fascinating to hear what was going on in your worlds. And, you know, everything from the superannuation administration space to the startup vibe of Catapult with Hannah to Mantle Group and in that consulting space. And then, you know, really big businesses like Findex. And it was absolutely fascinating and loving to hear what was happening in your world. We then went into John Bowker from Lycopodium, Andy Steeds from Capgemini, Sandra Lim from SEC, Brad Aberdeen from Domino's, and Kimberly Laurie from Cotton On. Again, fascinating. Big, huge footprints, massive brands, big teams, unique challenges. Was just wonderful to catch up with all of you. After that, the next 5, we had Lee Jones, my colleague from REA Group, Brad Allen from Junior Adventures Group, Ali Hinton from Amused, Angie Lee from Officeworks, and Gareth Spicer from NDY. Thank you so much for sharing all of your wisdom and knowledge with myself and the audience. We then finally finished with our last 5. We had Jake Major from Endava, Alyssa Belova from Coles Digital, Sharon Hoffman from the Probe Group, Paula Kilby from Thermo Fisher, and Craig Wood from Uniting Vic Tas. And what I love about the people that I caught up with, everyone was in a very different industry, different team size, different scopes, but there was so much, I suppose, unity in terms of what these focus areas are for all of you and for your teams. You know, some of the really strong themes that came out were mobility, talent optimization, and looking at our processes and looking at our candidate experience, our hiring manager experience, and our recruiter experience, and how we can optimize and be more effective and really shift to that talent advisory model that we're all talking about. That theme came out with every single person that I caught up with. Some were very early on in their journeys as well. I know, you know, when I think about Brad Aberdeen from Domino's, it was a brand new startup. The same with Craig Wood from Uniting. Like when I say startup, like a new function, establishing the bread and butter of talent acquisition, and just amazing work happening. And I couldn't be prouder to be part of the Australian industry. Mobility came up a lot, as I mentioned. And you know what? As well as that, the power of referrals. Everyone's talking referrals. It's our primary, like it's a no-brainer. Everyone's talking about it, but we're not seeing it on the stage. People aren't talking about their unique referral programs and the successes of their referral programs. I'd love us to be talking more about that because it seems to be a high priority for everyone, and everyone's having really great successes through employee advocacy. And then finally, really, we spent a lot of time talking about employer branding and EVP, and everyone's at a different stage in their journey, but everyone's doing an amazing job in bringing those employee stories to life and using those stories to attract core talent into their organizations. And again, just like a referral program, it's talent advocacy, and it seems to be something that we're doing incredibly well in Australia. I do want to just shout out, because they came up a lot. The final question that I asked in all of these interviews was around innovation and things that, you know, we're noticing in the market that are really cool. And Bunnings came up a lot. Now, I didn't get the opportunity to interview anyone from Bunnings, and I will do for the Rubber Band podcast. So Marge Glazebrook out there, you know I'm going to be tapping you. So we're going to be talking really soon. again, I want to thank PageUp and particularly Clinch. Now, PageUp is an amazing platform, and it's so advanced from when I used PageUp quite some time ago back in higher education, and we're talking, probably about 8 years ago. I'm blown away from the demos that I've seen from PageUp throughout this program and process, and also the functionality of the Clinch module and the power that PageUp can have in terms of bringing a lot of those employee stories to life and supporting your career page, supporting employee advocacy storytelling. It's amazing software. Please do check it out, and it's local, and I love local. So thank you once again, PageUp. This has just been such an amazing experience for me. Thank you once again to the 25 people that so kindly dedicated their time to this series. It's been an absolute blast. So, real recruiters, bye, goodbye. But the journey's not over. The Rubber Band podcast will continue, and I'll be continuing to have conversations with people at all levels across our industry, all different sectors, all different specializations. Let's continue celebrating all the wonderful work we're doing in Australia. Thank you, everyone who has been with me on this journey. It's been an absolute pleasure. And that's the finale. That's a wrap. Thank you.
PageUp, a powerful talent attraction and management system, creating positive experiences for candidates, hiring managers, and HR teams at every step of the hiring journey. From intelligent career sites to marketing automation and talent pipelining, PageUp will enable you and your team to put your best foot forward to attract and convert world-class talent. PageUp's powerful ATS will help you improve your recruiting efficiency, and their onboarding solution sets your team up for success from day one. PageUp, more than just an ATS. Head to pageuppeople.com to see how it all comes together.